An academic degree is a college or university diploma, often associated with a title and sometimes associated with an academic position, which is usually awarded in recognition of the recipient having either satisfactorily completed a prescribed course of study or having conducted a scholarly endeavour deemed worthy of his or her admission to the degree. The most common degrees awarded today are associate, bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees. Most higher education institutions generally offer certificates and several programs leading to the obtainment of a Master of Advanced Studies, which is predominantly known as a Diplôme da copyright Udes super copyright Rius spa copyright Cialisa copywriters, under its original French name. Overview: the modern academic system of academic degrees evolved and expanded in the medieval university, spreading everywhere across the globe as the institution did. No other European institution has spread over the entire world in the way in which the traditional form of the European university has done. The degrees awarded by European universities are the bachelor's degree, the licentiate, the master degree, and the doctorate have been adopted in the most diverse societies throughout the world. Emergence of the doctor's and master's degrees and the licentiate, the doctorate appeared in medieval Europe as a license to teach at a medieval university. Its roots can be traced to the early Church when the term doctor referred to the apostles, church fathers and other Christian authorities who taught and interpreted the Bible. The right to grant a licentia discendi was originally reserved to the Church, which required the applicant to pass a test, to take oath of allegiance and pay a fee. The Third Council of the Lateran of 1179 guaranteed the access now largely free of charge of all able applicants, who were, however, still tested for aptitude by the ecclesiastic scholastic. This right remained a bone of contention between the church authorities and the slowly emancipating universities, but was granted by the Pope to the University of Paris in 1231, where it became a universal license to teach. However, while the licentia continued to hold a higher prestige than the bachelor's degree, it was ultimately reduced to an intermediate step to the magister and doctorate, both of which now became the exclusive qualification for teaching. At the university, doctoral training was a form of apprenticeship to a guild. The traditional term of study before new teachers were admitted to the Guild of Master of Arts, 7 years, was the same as the term of apprenticeship for other occupations. Originally the terms master and doctor were synonymous, but over time the doctorate came to be regarded as a higher qualification than the master degree. Today the terms master, doctor, and professor signify different levels of academic achievement, but in the medieval university they were equivalent terms, the use of them in the degree name being a matter of custom at a university. The earliest doctoral degrees, philosophy, Doctor of Philosophy and Medicine, Medicina Doctor, reflected the historical separation of all university study into these three fields. Over time, the DD has gradually become less common outside theology, and is now mostly used for honorary degrees, with the title Doctor of Theology being used more often for earned degrees. Studies outside theology and medicine were then called philosophy, due to the Renaissance conviction that real knowledge could be derived from empirical observation, and this usage survives in the degree title of Doctor of Philosophy. Studies in these fields have become much more common, but are now classified as sciences and humanities. The University of Bologna in Italy, regarded as the oldest university in Europe, was the second institution to confer the degree of Doctor in Civil Law in the late 12th century. It also conferred similar degrees in other subjects, including medicine. The University of Paris used the term master for its graduates, a practice adopted by the English universities of Oxford and Cambridge, as well as the ancient Scottish universities of St Andrews, Glasgow, Aberdeen, and Edinburgh. Emergence of a bachelor's degree. In the medieval European universities, candidates who had completed 3 or 4 years of study in the prescribed texts of the Trivium, and the Quadrivium, together known as the liberal arts, and who had successfully passed examinations held by their master, would be admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts, from the Latin baccalaureus, a term previously used of a squire to a knight. Further study, and in particular successful participation in and then moderating of disputations would earn one the Master of Arts degree, from the Latin magister, teacher, entitling one to teach these subjects. Master of Arts were eligible to enter study under the higher faculties of law, medicine or theology, and earned first a bachelor's and then master or doctor's degrees in these subjects. Thus a degree was only a step on the way to becoming a fully qualified master, hence the English word graduate, which is based on the Latin gradus. The evolution of the terminology of degrees, the naming of degrees eventually became linked with the subjects studied. Scholars in the faculties of arts or grammar became known as master, but those in theology, medicine, and law were known as doctor. As study in the arts or in grammar was a necessary prerequisite to study in subjects such as theology, medicine and law, the degree of doctor assumed a higher status than the master degree. This led to the modern hierarchy in which the Doctor of Philosophy, which in its present form is a degree based on research and dissertation, is a development from 18th and 19th century German universities, is a more advanced degree than the Master of Arts. The practice of using the term doctor for PhDs developed within German universities and spread across the academic world. The French terminology is tied closely to the original meanings of the terms. The baccalaureate copyrighted is conferred upon French students who have successfully completed their secondary education and admits the student to university. When students graduate from university, they are awarded license, much as the medieval teaching guilds would have done, and they are qualified to teach in secondary schools or proceed to higher level studies. Spain had a similar structure. The term bachiller was used for those who finished the secondary or high school level education, known as bachillerato. The standard Spanish university 5 years degree was licenciado. The highest level was doctor. Degrees awarded by institutions other than universities. In the past, degrees have also been directly issued by authority of the monarch or by a bishop, rather than any educational institution. This practice has mostly died out. In Great Britain, Lambeth degrees are still awarded by the Archbishop of Canterbury. The Archbishop of Canterbury's right to grant degrees is derived from Peter's Pence Act of 1533, which empowered the Archbishop to grant dispensations previously granted by the Pope. Academic dress. In most countries, gaining an academic degree entitles the holder to assume distinctive academic dress particular to the awarding institution, identifying the status of the individual wearing them. Current levels of attainment of degrees. Traditionally more men than women attended and earned degrees at the world's universities. A milestone was reached in the United States according to results of the 2010 census, as women surpassed men in attaining master degrees, for the first time. The U.S. Census reports that 10.5 million men have master's degrees or higher, compared with 10.6 million women. The first year that women surpassed men in earning baccalaureate unregistered trademark S degrees was in 1996. Indicating earned degrees. There are various conventions for indicating degrees and diplomas after one's name. In some cultures it is usual to give only the highest degree. In others, it is usual to give the full sequence, in some cases giving abbreviations also for the discipline, the institution, and the level of honors. In another variation, a rule of subsumption often shortens the list and may obscure the chronology evident from a full listing. Thus MSc-BSc means that the degrees conferred were, in chronological order, BSc, MSc. The subsumption rule reflects the principle that a person of a given high status does not separately belong to the lower status. For member institutions of the Association of Commonwealth Universities, there is a standard list of abbreviations, but in practice many variations are used. Most notable is the use of the Latin abbreviations Oxon and Cantab. For the universities of Oxford and Cambridge, in spite of these having been superseded by English OXF and CAM. Other Latin abbreviations include St. and for the University of St. Andrews, Exon. For the University of Exeter, Dunham for Durham University, EBA. For the University of York, Cantuoff for the University of Kent and Uncle for University of Newcastle upon Tyne. Confusion results from the widespread use of SA for the University of South Australia because SA was officially assigned to the University of South Africa. For universities of different Commonwealth countries sharing the same name, such as York University in Canada and the University of York in the UK, a convention has been adopted where a country abbreviation is included with the letters and university name. In this example, York and York is commonly used to denote degrees conferred by their respective universities. The doubling of letters in LLB, LLM, LLD is because these degrees are in laws, not law. The doubled letter indicates the Latin plural legum as opposed to the singular leges. Abbreviations for the degrees in surgery CH. B and CHM are from Latin chirurgiae and often indicate a university system patterned after Scottish models. The combination of MB with CH. B arose from a need to graduate the student at the time of year allocated to graduation rituals, but the legal inability to confer the MB before they had been properly approved by professional regulatory bodies. Thus the CH. B was conferred first, and the MB was conferred later, after registration, and without ceremony. In recent times the two have come to be conferred together and are widely understood to constitute a single degree. Some degrees are awarded jure dignitatis. That is, a person who has demonstrated the appropriate qualities to be given a particular office may be awarded the degree by virtue of the office held. It is another kind of earned euro, but not generally strictly academic a euro degree. An exception occurs when a doctorate is conferred based on both the office and a completed dissertation. In such circumstances the degree is awarded dissertation a jure dignitatis. Online degree. An online degree is an academic degree that can be earned primarily or entirely through the use of an internet-connected computer, rather than attending college in a traditional campus setting. Improvements in technology, the increasing use of the internet worldwide, and the need for people to have flexible school schedules that enable them to work while attending school have led to a proliferation of online colleges that award associates, bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees. Degree systems by regions: Asia, India and Pakistan. India and Pakistan mostly follow the colonial-era British system for classification of degrees. Arts referring to the performing arts and literature. The corresponding degree are Bachelor of Arts and its master is called Master of Arts. Management degrees are also classified under arts but is nowadays considered a major new stream, Bachelor of Business Administration and Master of Business Administration. Science referring to the basic sciences and natural science. The corresponding degree are Bachelor of Science and its master is called Master of Science. Another new set of information technology degree conferred specially in the field of computer science, Bachelor of Science in Information Technology and Master of Science in Information Technology. The engineering degrees in India follow two common patterns. Bachelor of Engineering and Bachelor of Technology, both representing a bachelor's degree in engineering, and Pakistan engineering degrees are Bachelor of Engineering and BSc. Engineering both are same in curriculum, duration and pattern. Whereas B.Tech degree holders in Pakistan are not considered as engineers as per Pakistan Engineering Council criteria for engineers, they are considered as technologist in Pakistan. Medical degree, Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, Bachelor of Dental Surgery, BCA, Bachelor of Computer Application and Master of Computer Application. Sri Lanka, as many other Commonwealth countries, follow the British system with its own distinctions. Degrees are approved by the University Grants Commission. Africa, Tunisia, grading as Tunisia is done on a scale of 0 to 20. The passing grade is 10 out of 20, which is 50% of the complete mark. 20. This grading system is used from middle school up to university level. A PhD thesis is even graded out of 20. To get ahead on the academic ladder, one is strictly assessed numerically. That is, if you are a BA holder applying for an MA program, you will be admitted according to how high your grades were during your undergraduate years. Europe. Since the Lisbon Recognition Convention elaborated by the UNESCO and the Council of Europe, degrees in Europe are being harmonized through the Bologna process, based on the three-level hierarchy of degrees, bachelor, master and doctor. This system is gradually replacing the two-stage system in use in some countries. The Bologna process currently has 47 participating countries. Although a country is a Bologna Process member state, this does not necessarily mean that the Bologna Accords have been implemented yet in that country. Status implementation Bologna Accords. Austria. In Austria, there are currently two parallel systems of academic degrees, the traditional two-cycle system of Magister Diplôme followed by the doctorate, and the three-cycle system of bachelor, master and doctorate as defined by the Bologna process. With a few exceptions, the two-cycle degree system will be phased out by 2010. Some of the established degree naming has, however, been preserved, allowing universities to award the Diplôme ingénieur to graduates of the new-style master programs. Czech Republic, the qualification structure recognizes bachelor's, master's, and doctoral levels as defined by the Bologna process. A bachelor's degree program aims at providing qualifications for entering a profession or a master's degree program. It takes from 3 to 4 years. Graduates receive the academic title BCA in field of arts and BC in other fields. The degree program must be completed in due form with a final state examination, which usually includes the presentation and defense of a bachelor's thesis. Abbreviations are written before the name. A master's degree program follows a bachelor's degree program. The length is 1 to 3 years. In selected fields, where the nature of the degree program so requires, a master's degree program need not to follow on from a bachelor's program. In this case, the program lasts 4 to 6 years. Graduates in a master's degree program must take a final state examination and publicly present and defend a master's thesis. Studies in the fields of medicine, veterinary medicine and hygiene are completed by passing an advanced master's state examination including the presentation and defense of an advanced master's thesis. The studies in a master's program lead to the following academic degrees: Ing engineer in the area of economics, technical sciences and technologies, agriculture and forestry, and in military fields of study, Ing Arch. Engineer architect in the field of architecture, MUDR Doctor of Medicine in the field of medicine, MDDR Doctor of Dental Medicine in the field of dental science, MVDR Doctor of Veterinary Medicine in the field of veterinary medicine and hygiene, MGA Master of Fine Arts in the field of fine arts, MGR Master in other areas of study. Holders of the academic degree Magistra are entitled to take an advanced master's state examination in the same area of study and defend an advanced master's thesis. If completed successfully, the following academic degrees are awarded: JUDR Doctor of Laws in the field of law, PhDR Doctor of Philosophy in the area of the humanities, Teacher Education and Social Sciences, RNDR Doctor of Natural Sciences in the field of natural sciences, Pharmed Doctor of Pharmacy in the field of pharmacy, THLIC Licentiate of Theology in the field of Catholic Theology, THLIC Licentiate of Theology or THDR Doctor of Theology in the field of non-Catholic theology. All above-mentioned academic titles are at master's level and their abbreviations are written in front of the name. The standard length of a doctoral degree program is either 3 or 4 years. Doctoral studies are completed by the state doctoral thesis, based on original results, which must be published. Graduates of a doctoral degree program are awarded the academic degree of PhD Doctor, THD Doctor of Theology in the field of theology. The abbreviations of these academic titles are written after the name. Denmark. Before the adaptation to international standards, the lowest degree that would normally be studied at universities in Denmark was equivalent to a master's degree. Denmark has 2 forms of master's degrees: candidate and master. Officially, bachelor degrees have always been obtained after 3 years university studies. Various medium-length professional degrees have been adapted so they now have status as professional bachelor degrees of varying length, and opposed to academic bachelor degrees they are considered to be applied degrees. The degrees available are PB, B, Cand, M, PhD. Finland. Historically, the Finnish higher education system has been similar to the German system, which includes universities and universities of applied sciences. With the exception of few fields, universities are in compliance with the Bologna process, thus awarding bachelor's, master's and doctoral degrees. the traditional degree of licentiate is subject to being phased out in the near future. The universities of applied sciences have the right to award only bachelor's and master's degrees, although they do not have the right to use the titles candidati or magisterium in Finnish. While nearly all university students are granted the right to study a master's degree, UAS students have to apply to a master's program separately. The overwhelming majority of all master's degree holders have a university background. In spite of the fact that the degrees awarded by the two institutions are at par by law, the UAS degrees are not directly comparable to nor similar in content as the university degrees. In popular culture, degrees awarded by universities of applied sciences are not traditionally held as academic degrees but as higher education degrees. This is reflected by the fact most master's degree holders from universities of applied sciences have to complete additional studies in order to apply to doctoral programs at universities. France. The French education system operates on a sharp distinction between diplomas and degrees. Diplomas are awarded by the educational institutions, such as the universities or the grands copyright cols, but degrees are only awarded by the Ministry of Education. Historically, academic degrees were orientated towards research and the vocational education system awarded only diplomas. Since the implementation of the Bologna process in France, things are going towards a simplification as schools continue to deliver their own diplomas, but the state recognition and degree awarding is far more ranged than before. Nonetheless, there are many diplomas in France with no degree recognition. These are either 2 years or 4 years diplomas which do not fall into the frame of the European higher education area or specific diplomas designed by various institutions with no recognition from the Ministry of Education, such as the Master Spa Copyright Cialisa Copyright or the Sciences Po Bachelor. Germany. Traditionally in Germany, students graduated after 4 to 6 years either with a magisterium degree in social sciences, humanities, linguistics and the arts or with a diploma degree in natural sciences, economics, business administration, political science, sociology, theology and engineering. Those degrees were the first and at the same time highest non-PhD doctorate title in many disciplines before its gradual replacement by other, Anglo-Saxon-inspired degrees. In Germany, a magister or diploma awarded by universities, which both require a final thesis, is popularly considered equivalent to a master's degree from countries following an Anglo-American model. However, degree equivalences are highly contentious, and this is not the general opinion outside Germany. For example, these traditional German first degrees are regarded by the University of California, the top-ranked public university system in the United States, as equivalent to an American bachelor's degree for purposes of graduate school admission. A special kind of examination is the Staatsexamen. It is not an academic degree but a government licensing examination that future doctors, dentists, teachers, lawyers, judges, public prosecutors, patent attorneys, and pharmacists have to pass in order to be eligible to work in their profession. Students usually study at university for 4 or 6 years before they take the first Staatsexamen. Afterwards teachers and jurists go through a form of pupillage for 2 years, before they are able to take the second Staatsexamen, which tests their practical abilities in their jobs. The first Staatsexamen is at a level which is equivalent to a MSc or MA. Since 1999, the traditional degrees are gradually being replaced by bachelor's and master's degrees. The main reasons for this change are to make degrees internationally comparable, and to introduce degrees to the German system which take less time to complete. Some universities are still resistant to this change, considering it a displacement of a venerable tradition for the pure sake of globalization. Universities must fulfill the new standard by the end of 2007. In the future, the diploma or magister degree will no longer be awarded. Doctorates are issued under a variety of names, depending on the faculty, for example, Dr. der Naturwissenschaften, Dr. der Rechtswissenschaften, Dr. der Medizin, Dr. der Philosophy, to name just a few. Multiple doctorates and honorary doctorates are often listed and even used in forms of address in German-speaking countries. A diploma, magister, master's or Staatsexamen student can proceed to a doctorate. The doctoral promotion is the highest academic degree in Germany and generally equivalent to a Bologna PhD degree. However, this may apply to the comparison of UK and US PhD degrees too. The degree Dr. Med for medical doctors has to be viewed differently, however. Medical students usually write their doctoral theses right after they have completed studies, without any previous conducted scientific research, just as students in other disciplines write a diploma, magister or master's thesis. Sometimes incorrectly regarded as a degree, the habilitation is an academic qualification in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland that allows further teaching and research endorsement after a doctorate. It is earned by writing a second thesis or presenting a portfolio of first author publications in an advanced topic. The exact requirements for satisfying a habilitation depend on individual universities. The Habl, as it is abbreviated to represent that a habilitation has been awarded after the doctorate, was traditionally the conventional qualification for serving at least as a Privatdozent in an academic professorship. Some German universities no longer require the habilitation, although preference may still be given to applicants who have this credential, for academic posts in the more traditional fields. Ireland operates under a national framework of qualifications. The school leaving qualification attained by students is called the Leaving Certificate. It is considered level 4 to 5 on the framework. This qualification is the traditional route of entry into third-level education. There are also level 5 qualifications in certain vocational subjects awarded by the Further Education and Training Awards Council. Advanced certificates at level 6 are also awarded by FETAC. The Higher Education and Training Awards Council award the following: a higher certificate at level 6, an ordinary bachelor degree at level 7, an honors bachelor degree or higher diploma at level 8, a master's degree or postgraduate diploma at level 9, a doctoral degree or higher doctorate at level 10. These are completed in institutes of technology or universities. Italy. In Italy, access to university is possible after gaining the Diploma di Maturità at 19 years of age, following 5 years of study in a specific high school focused on certain subjects. After gaining the diploma, one can enter university and enroll in any curriculum. All high school diplomas allow access to any university curriculum, although most universities have pre-admission tests. Italy uses the 3 levels degree system. The first level degree, called laurea, is obtained after 3 years of study and a short thesis on a specific subject. The second level degree, called laurea magistrale, is obtained after 2 additional years of study, specializing in a particular branch of the chosen subject. This degree requires a more complex thesis work, usually involving some academic research or an internship in a private company. The third level, after a further 3 years of study, is the Dottorato di Ricerca. This degree is mainly devoted to research, with a final thesis on the results of the research undertaken. Alternatively, after obtaining the laurea triennale or the laurea magistrale, one can attend a master of 1 or 2 years, offered by universities and private organizations with a variety of subjects, lengths and costs, and usually including a final internship in a private company. The title for laureate is, regardless of the field of study, Dottor Dottoressa or Dottor/Dottoressa Magistrale, not to be confused with the title for the PhD level graduate, which is Dottor/Dottoressa di Ricerca. Netherlands. In the Netherlands, the structure of academic studies was altered significantly in 1982. In this year, the twee-phase instructor was introduced by the Dutch Minister of Education, Wim Deetman. With this two-phase structure, an attempt was made to standardize all the different studies and structure them to an identical timetable. Additional effect was that students would be persuaded stringently to produce results within a preset time frame, or otherwise discontinue their studies. The two-phase structure has been adapted to a bachelor-master structure as a result of the Bologna process. Admission. In order for a Dutch student to get access to a university education, he/she has to complete a 6-year pre-university secondary education called Voorbereid en Wetenschappelige onderrig. There are other routes possible, but only if the end level of the applicant is comparable to the two levels as access to university education is granted. For some studies, specific end levels or disciplines are required, for example, graduating without physics, biology, and chemistry will make it impossible to study medicine. People 21 years old or older who do not have the required entrance diplomas may opt for an entrance exam for being admitted to a higher education curriculum. In this exam, they have to prove their command of disciplines considered necessary for pursuing such study. After September 1, 2002 they would be thus admitted to a bachelor's curriculum, not to a master's curriculum. For some studies in the Netherlands, a governmental determined limited access is in place. This is a limitation of the number of applicants to a specific study, thus trying to control the eventual number of graduates. The most renowned studies for their numerous clauses are medicine and dentistry. Every year a combination of the highest pre-university graduation grades and some additional conditions determine who can start such a numerous clauses study and who cannot. Almost all Dutch universities are government-supported universities, with only very few privately owned universities in existence. Leiden University is the oldest, founded in 1575. Pre-Bologna phases. Before the introduction of the bachelor-master structure, almost all academic studies in the Netherlands had the same length of 4 years and had 2 phases. The propedeutisch phase. After finishing this phase a student can follow another 2 years study, which grants equivalence to the Anglo-Saxon BSc, BA or LLB. The doctoral phase. Completing the first phase successfully gives the student access to the second phase. Again, failure to finish within the time given will lead to discontinuation. This phase is concluded with the doctoral examen. This is not similar to any type of doctoral exam that would grant the student with any type of PhD title. Successful completion however does grant the student the Dutch degree of DRS. Doctorandus, or Mr. Nowadays these Dutch titles have been largely replaced by the Anglo-Saxon titles MSc, MA, and LLM, depending on the area of study. For medical students the doctorandus degree is not equivalent to the European Anglo-Saxon postgraduate research degree in medicine of MD. Besides the title doctorandus, the graduates of the curious curriculum may also bear the title arts. The doctorandus in medicine title is granted after 4 years of the curious curriculum, while the title physician is granted after 6 years of that curriculum. The Dutch physician title is equal to a MSc degree according to the Bologna process, and can be compared with the MBBS, MB, MBBHBAO, BMBS, MBBCHIR, or MBCH-bar in the UK degree system, and the North American, but not the UK MD degree, which is a research degree. One-on-one equivalence or interchangeability of the Dutch medical title and MD is often suggested. However, officially the MD title is not known, nor legal to use in the Netherlands. The correct notation for a Dutch physician who completed his or her medical studies, but did not pursue a doctor's study is DRS. And not doctor in medicine, as often used incorrectly. However, like in the United Kingdom, physicians holding these degrees are referred to as doctor by courtesy. In the Netherlands, there is the informal title doctor for physicians, but not doctor, unless they also earn such degree by completing a PhD curriculum. Furthermore, the doctorandus degree does not give a medical student the right to treat patients. For this a minimum of 2 years additional study is required. After obtaining a medical board registration, Dutch physicians must work an additional 2 to 6 years in a field of expertise to become a registered medical specialist. Dutch surgeons commonly are only granted access to surgeon training and positions after obtaining a doctorate successfully. Since a couple of years, the 6-year-old Curious curriculum has been replaced with a 3-year Bachelor Curious Plus followed by a 3-year Master Curious Plus. Those who had already begun their old-style Curious curriculum before that will still have to complete it as a 6-year study. A doctorandus in law uses the title Master instead of DRS. And some studies like for example technique and agriculture grant the title engineer instead of DRS. These titles is equivalent to a LLM and to a MSc, and if got before September 1, 2002 from a recognized Dutch university, may be rendered as M behind one's name, instead of using the typical Dutch shortcuts before one's name. Since September 1, 2002, Dutch universities offer specific BSc, BA or LLB studies followed by MSc, MA or LLM studies, thus integrating into and merging with the international scientific community, offering lectures, other classes, seminars, or complete curricula in English instead of Dutch. According to their field of study, MSc graduates may use either A or DRS before their names, MA graduates may use DRS before their name and LLM graduates may use Mr. before their names, but only if they received such degrees from recognized Dutch universities. Not uncommonly, the Dutch DRS abbreviation can cause much confusion in other countries, since it is perceived as a person who has a PhD in multiple disciplines. In the Netherlands, the degree MPHIL is not legally recognized. After successfully obtaining a DRS or Mr. degree, a student has the opportunity to follow a promotion study to eventually obtain a doctorate, and subsequently the title Doctor. Promotion studies are structured ideally according to a preset time schedule of 4 to 6 years, during which the student has to be mentored by at least one professor. The promotion study has to be concluded with at least a scientific thesis, which has to be defended to a gathering of his/her peers, in practice the board of the faculty with guest professors from other faculties and/or universities added. More and more common, and in some disciplines even mandatory, is that the student writes and submits scientific publications to peer-reviewed journals, which eventually need to be accepted for publication. The number of publications is often debated and varies considerably between the various disciplines. However, in all disciplines the student is obligated to produce and publish a dissertation or thesis in book form. Bachelor-master structure. All current Dutch academic education programs are offered in the Anglo-Saxon bachelor-master structure. It takes 3 years to earn a bachelor's degree and another 1 or 2 years to earn a master's degree. There are 3 official academic bachelor titles and 3 official master titles. These academic titles are protected by the Dutch government. Academic title bearing. After obtaining a doctorate, Dutch doctors may bear either the title drive before, or the letter D behind their name, but not both simultaneously. There is no specific notation of the discipline in which the doctorate is obtained. Stacking of the titles as seen in countries like for example Germany is highly uncommon in the Netherlands and not well received culturally. Those who have multiple doctor titles may, but in practice seldom use Dr. Mult before their name. The honoris cause doctors may use DRHC before their name. Combining different Dutch titles, especially in different disciplines, is allowed however. The use of the combination ring is frequent, indicating one holds a HBO, vocational engineering degree together with an academic engineering degree. What is not allowed is, after obtaining a doctorate, using drive DRS. Janssen. Dr. Janssen should be used instead. A combination of a Dutch title with an international title is not allowed, except for some limited number of international professional titles. Thus, one should choose either one's classical Dutch titles, or use the shortcut provided by the law behind one's name. Hence, formal use of the Anglo-Saxon PhD behind one's name is not legal, as it is not a Dutch degree, but often seen on for example English publications for clarity towards international readers. The law provides the option of using the shortcut D behind one's name instead of drive before one's name. Doctors can proceed to teach at universities as Universitätsdozent. With time, experience, and/or achievement, this can evolve to a position as Universitärer Hoofddocent. Officially an UHD still works under the supervision of a Hoogheraar, the head of the department and commonly a professor. However, this is not a given. It is also possible that a department is headed by a plain doctor, based on knowledge, achievement, and expertise. The position of Hoogheraar is the highest possible scientific position at a university, and equivalent to the U.S. full professor. The Dutch professor's title, noted as Prof. Janssen or Professor Janssen, is connected to one's employment. This means that, Should the professor leave the university, he or she also loses the privilege to use the title of professor. Exception here are retired professors, who can still note the title in front of their name, or use the title emeritus professor. People who switch to a non-university job lose their professor title, and are only allowed to use the doctor abbreviation. Contrary to some other European countries like for example Germany, Dutch academic titles are used rarely outside academia, hold no value in everyday life, and are for example not listed on official documentation communication. Dutch academic titles however are legally protected and can only be used by graduates from Dutch institutions of higher education. Illegal use is considered a misdemeanor and subject to legal prosecution. Holders of foreign degrees therefore need special permission before being able to use a recognized Dutch title, but they are free to use their own foreign title. In practice, the public department does not prosecute the illegal use of a protected title. Norway. Prior to 2003, there were around 50 different degrees and corresponding education programs within the Norwegian higher education system. In 2003, a reform was instituted to replace this older system with an international system. For example, many degrees had titles that included the Latin term candidatus candidata. The second part of the title usually consisted of a Latin word corresponding to the professional training. These degrees were all retired in 2003. The reform of higher education in Norway, Kvalitetsreformen, was passed in the Norwegian Parliament, the Storting, in 2001 and carried out during the 2003/2004 academic year. It introduced standard periods of study in the titles Master and Bachelor. The system differentiates between a free master's degree and a master's degree in technology. The latter corresponds to the former civil ingenieur degree. All pre-2001 doctoral degree titles were replaced with the title Philosophical Doctor degree, written Philosophia Doctor. The title Drive Philos is a substantially higher degree than the PhD, and is reserved for those who qualify for such a degree without participating in an organized doctoral degree program. Poland. In Poland the system is similar to the German one, Licenciate title, given by a university. The equivalent of Bachelor of Arts degree or Bachelor of Science degree. Granted after at least 3 years of study. Eine 1/4 title, Engineer's degree given by a technical university. Granted after at least 5 to 4 years of study. Magister or Magister eine 1/4 title, the equivalent of a Master of Arts or Master of Science degree, granted after 5 €6 years of study, or 1.5 €2 years of additional study by holders of a bachelor degree with classification of honours degree. Doctor degree, the equivalent of Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor Habilitowny degree, Polish habilitation degree, requires approval by an external ministerial body, Professor degree the highest title, officially conferred by the President of Poland. Russia, Ukraine and some other former USSR republics. Since 1992, Russian higher education has introduced a multi-level system, enabling higher education institutions to award and issue Bachelor of Science and Master of Science degrees. In Russia, Ukraine and some other former USSR republics educational degrees are awarded after finishing college education. There are several levels of education one must choose between second and third year, usually on the third year of study. Bachelor degree usually takes 4 years of college. Specialist degree is awarded after 5 years of college. Master degree is awarded after 6 years of college. But specialist degree can appear equivalent to magister degree by reason of equivalence of amount of educational time. Usually specialist or magister degrees incorporates bachelor degree in them, but only high-level degrees stated in final diploma. Specialist and magister degrees require taking final state exams and written work on practical application of studied skills or research thesis and is roughly equivalent to master's degree. The first-level academic degree is called Kandidat Nauk. This degree requires extensive research efforts, taking some classes, publications in peer-reviewed academic journals, taking 3 exams and writing and defending an in-depth thesis called a dissertation. Finally, There is a Doctor degree in Russia and some former USSR academic environment. This degree is granted for contributions in a certain field. It requires discovery of new phenomenon, or development of new theory, or essential development of new direction, etc. There is no equivalent of this Doctor of Sciences degree in U.S. academic system. It is roughly equivalent to habilitation in Germany, France, Austria, and some other European countries. In countries with a two-tier system of doctoral degrees, the degree of Candidat hoc should be considered for recognition at the level of the first doctoral degree. In countries with only one doctoral degree, the degree of Candidat hoc should be considered for recognition as equivalent to this degree. According to guidelines for the recognition of Russian qualifications in the other countries with a two-tier system of doctoral degrees, the degree of Doctor hoc should be considered for recognition at the level of the second doctoral degree. In countries in which only one doctoral degree exists, the degree of Doctor hoc should be considered for recognition at the level of this degree. According to Part 262 International Standard Classification of Education UNESCO 2011, for purposes of international educational statistics, 1. DPHIL to Doctor hoc Philosophy, 2. DIL to Doctor hoc in Literature, 3. DSc to Doctor hoc of Natural Science, 4. LLD to Doctor hoc of Legal Science. Spain's higher education legal framework includes official and accredited education, and non-official education. 1.1 Official and accredited education. In Spain, accreditation of official university study programs is regulated by law and monitored by governmental agencies responsible for verifying their quality and suitability for official approval and accreditation. Official professional study programs lead to degree qualifications with full academic and professional effects, and the degrees awarded in accordance with the latest higher education system are, 1. Bachelor unregistered trademark S degree -240 ECTS credits in 4 years. 2. Master unregistered trademark S degree -60 to 120 ECTS credits in 1 2 years. 3. Doctoral degree PhD, in 3 4 years. Accredited bachelor's degrees and master unregistered trademark S degrees qualifications will always be described as grado, and master universitario. These qualifications comply with the European Higher Education Area Framework. Officially approved and accredited university study programs must implement this framework by law in order to attain and retain accreditation in Spain. 1.2 Non-official education. Not all EHEA-compliant study programs in Spain are officially approved and/or accredited by government agencies. Some universities offer proprietary study programs as an alternative to accredited study programs for a variety of reasons, attending the continuing education market for individual self-advancement and also providing higher education to individuals that have failed to acquire Bachelor unregistered trademark S degree qualifications. These programs fall within the category of non-officially approved and accredited, or estudios no oficiales, and they have no academic or professional effects. This means that they do not entitle the bearer to claim to have any specific academic or professional qualifications, as far as the Spanish authorities are concerned. Universities offering non-official study programs are legally bound to clearly differentiate between officially approved and non-officially approved qualifications when naming their offer of non-official qualifications. Non-accredited master's degrees will be described as master on its own, without the term universitario. Certain non-officially approved and accredited study programs may acquire a well-deserved reputation. However, neither professional association, government agencies, judiciary authorities, nor universities other than the study program provider are obliged to recognize non-official qualifications in any way. 2. Accreditation System. University-taught study programs accreditation is granted through the ANECA, a government-dependent quality assurance and accreditation provider for the Spanish higher education system, and ensures that the data held in the AUCT, a national registry for universities and qualifications, is correct and up to date. All study programs must be accredited by ANECA prior to their inclusion in the AUCT. The AUCT records all officially approved universities in their bachelor's degrees, master's degrees and PhDs, and each and every one of the officially approved and accredited study programs and universities are assigned a specific number code by the AUCT. The same study program may acquire different codes as it progresses through various stages of official approval by local government and central government. Prospective students should check the AUCT code awarded to the study program of their interest at every stage of their inquiries concerning degrees in Spain. ANECA makes recommendations regarding procedures, staffing levels, quality of teaching, resources available to students, and continuity or loss of accreditation, and the ANECA registry records all events in the life of an officially approved and accredited study program or a university. The ANECA registry search facility may be the simplest and safest way to verify the status of all officially approved and accredited study programs in Spain. It is also possible to track qualifications by using the search facility that several autonomous communities-owned accreditation agencies offer. These agencies work within the ANECA framework, and generally show more detailed information about the study programs available in each territory. 3. Qualifications Framework for Higher Education. The Qualifications Framework for Higher Education (MECES) is the reference framework adopted in Spain in order to structure degree levels. Not all universities offer degrees named exactly the same, even if they have similar academic and professional effects. Each university may present proposals for the study program considered to meet professional and academic demand. The proposal will consist of a report linking the study program being considered and the proposed qualification to be awarded. This report will be assessed by ANECA and sent for the Consejo de Universidades SPA plus or minus OLAs upon approval. If the Consejo agrees with ANACAR unregistered trademark S approval, it will be included in the AUCT and ANECA registries. 4. Spanish qualifications and their professional effects. All bachelor's and master unregistered trademark S degrees accredited by ANECA enjoy full academic and professional effects in accordance with new and previous laws. Professional practice law in Spain is currently under revision. Sweden. Switzerland. Before the Bologna process, after 4 or 5 years of study, the academic degree of a licentiate was reached. Depending on the official language of the university, it was called licentiate license or licenza and is today considered equivalent to the master's degree according to the Bologna reform. A licentiate with a predefined qualification gave access to the last stage of further 2 or more years of studies for a doctoral's degree. Apart from this, most universities offered a postgraduate diploma with up to 2 years of study. French-speaking universities called them Diplôme des Copyright Approfondis DEA or DESS. The Italian-speaking university Post-Laurea and German-speaking universities mostly Diplom Studium. Today the federal legislation defines these postgraduate diplomas as Master of Advanced Studies or Executive Master of Business Administration degree. Universities may also offer the possibility to gain a Diploma of Advanced Studies, less than 60 ECTS credits. These degrees do not normally give access to the doctorate study. United Kingdom, England, Wales and Northern Ireland, the title degree is protected under UK law. All valid UK degrees are awarded by universities or other degree-awarding bodies whose powers to do so are recognised by UK government. Hence they are known as recognised bodies. The standard first degree in England, Northern Ireland and Wales is the bachelor's degree conferred with honours. Usually this is a Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science degree. Other variants exist, for example Bachelor of Education. It usually takes 3 years to read for a bachelor's degree. The honours are usually categorised into 4 classes: first-class honours, second-class honours, divided into upper division, or upper second, lower division, or lower second. Third-class honours, candidates who have not achieved the standard for the award of honours may be admitted without honours to the ordinary bachelor's degree if they have met the required standard for this lesser qualification. The foundation degree is a qualification at lower than bachelor's level awarded following a 2-year program of study that is usually vocational in nature. The foundation degree can be awarded by a university or college of higher education that has been granted foundation degree awarding powers by the UK government. This degree is comparable to an associate degree in the United States. The Universities of Oxford and Cambridge award honorary Master of Arts degrees to graduates of their bachelor's programs, following a specified period of time. This is comparable to the practice of the ancient universities in Scotland of awarding an MA for a first degree, and arguably reflects the rigorous standards expected of their graduates. Master's degrees such as Master of Arts or Master of Science are typically awarded to students who have undertaken at least a year of full-time postgraduate study, which may be taught or, in many cases, involve an element of research. Degrees such as Master of Philosophy or Master of Letters Literature are likely to be awarded for postgraduate degrees involving original research. A student undertaking a master's would normally be expected to already hold an honours degree in a relevant subject, hence the possibility of reaching master's level in 1 year. Some universities award a master's as a first degree following an integrated program of study. These degrees are usually designated by the subject, such as Master of Engineering for Engineering, Master of Physics for Physics, Master of Mathematics for Mathematics, and so on. It usually takes 4 years to read for them. Graduation to these degrees is always with honours. Master of Engineering in particular has now become the standard first degree in engineering at the top UK universities, replacing the older Bachelor of Engineering. The Master of Business Administration degree is highly valued by those seeking to advance in business as managers and decision-makers. Doctoral degrees or doctorates, such as the Doctor of Philosophy degree, are awarded following a program of original research that contributes new knowledge within the context of the student's discipline. Doctoral degrees usually take 3 years full-time. Therefore in the UK it may only take 7 years to progress from undergraduate to doctoral level, in some cases 6, since having a master's is not always a precondition for embarking on a doctoral degree. This contrasts with 9 years in the United States, reflecting differences in the educational systems. Some doctorates, such as the Doctor of Clinical Psychology qualification, confirm competence to practice in particular professions. There are also higher doctorates, Doctor of Science and Doctor of Letters Literature that are typically awarded to experienced academics who have demonstrated a high level of achievement in their academic career. For example, they may have published widely on their subject or become professors in their field. UK post-secondary qualifications are defined at different levels, with levels 1 to 3 denoting further education and levels 4 to 8 denoting higher education. Within this structure, a foundation degree is at level 5. A bachelor's at level 6. A master's at level 7. And a doctoral degree at level 8. Full information about the expectations for different types of UK degree is published by the Quality Assurance Agency for Higher Education. See also Graduate Certificate, Graduate Diploma, Postgraduate Certificate, Postgraduate Diploma. Scotland. The standard first degree for students studying arts or humanities in Scotland is either a Bachelor of Arts or a Master of Arts. The standard undergraduate degree for natural and social science subjects is the Bachelor of Science. Students can work towards a first degree at either ordinary or honours level. A general or ordinary degree takes 3 years to complete. An honours degree takes 4 years. The ordinary degree need not be in a specific subject, but can involve study across a range of subjects within the relevant faculty, in which case it may also be called a general degree. If a third-year or junior honours subject is included, the ordinary degree in that named discipline is awarded. The honours degree involves 2 years of study at a sub-honours level in which a range of subjects within the relevant faculty are studied, and then 2 years of study at honours level which is specialised in a single field. This also reflects the broader scope of the final years of Scottish secondary education, where traditionally 5 higher are studied, compared to 3 English or Welsh A-levels. The higher is a 1-year qualification, as opposed to the 2 years of A-levels, which accounts for Scottish honours degrees being a year longer than those in England. Advanced hires add an optional final year of secondary education, bringing students up to the level of their A-level counterparts. Students with strong A-levels or advanced hires may be offered entry directly into the second year at Scottish universities. Honours for MA or bachelor's degrees are classified into three classes: first-class honours, second-class honours, divided into Division 1, upper second-class honours, Division 2, lower second-class honours. Third-class honours, students who complete all the requirements for an honours degree, but do not receive sufficient merit to be awarded third-class honours may be awarded a special degree. In most respects, the criteria for awarding qualifications at honours level and above are the same as in the rest of the UK. Postgraduate qualifications are not designated Master of Arts as in the rest of the UK, as this is an undergraduate degree. Postgraduate degrees in arts and humanities subjects are usually designated Master of Letters or, in natural and social sciences, Master of Science. Non-doctoral postgraduate research degrees are usually designated Master of Philosophy or Master of Research. The postgraduate teaching qualification is the postgraduate diploma in education. Postgraduate qualifications are classified into four classes: distinction, credit, merit, pass. North America, Canada and United States. In the United States and Canada, since the late 19th century, the threefold degree system of bachelor, master and doctor has been in place, but follows a slightly different pattern of study from the European equivalent. In the United States and Canada, most standard academic programs are based on the four-year bachelor's degree, most often Bachelor of Arts, or Bachelor of Science, a 1 or 2 year master's degree, or Master of Science. Either of these programs might be as long as 3 years in length, and a further 2 to 5 years of coursework and research, culminating in comprehensive examinations in one or more fields, plus perhaps some teaching experience, and then the writing of a dissertation for the doctorate, most often Doctor of Philosophy, or other types such as Doctor of Education, Doctor of Psychology, Doctor of Theology, for a total of 10 or more years from starting the bachelor's degree to the awarding of the doctorate. This timetable is only approximate, however, as students in accelerated programs can sometimes earn a bachelor's degree in 3 years or, on the other hand, a particular dissertation project might take 4 or more years to complete. In addition, a graduate may wait an indeterminate time between degrees before candidacy in the next level, or even an additional degree at a level already completed. Therefore, there is no time limit on the accumulation of academic degrees. Some schools, mostly junior colleges and community colleges and some 4-year schools, offer an associate degree for 2 full years of study, often in pre-professional areas. These may stand alone, or sometimes be used as credit toward completion of the 4-year bachelor's degree. In Canada and the United States, there is also another class of degrees called First Professional Degree. These degree programs are designed for professional practice in various fields other than academic scholarship. Most professional degree programs require a prior bachelor's degree for admission, and so represent at least about 5 total years of study and as many as 7 or 8. Some fields such as fine art, architecture, or divinity call their first professional degree a master's degree, because most of these degrees require at least the completion of a bachelor's degree. There is currently some debate in the architectural community to rename the degree to a doctorate in the manner that was done for the law degree decades ago. However, this would also require increasing the length of their education. In the United States and Canada, many colleges and universities offer also an honors bachelor's degree. The term honors is an academic distinction, which indicates that students must achieve their bachelor's degree with a sufficiently high overall grade point average. In addition, some programs may require more education than non-honors programs. The honors degrees are sometimes designated with the abbreviation in brackets of Hon.S. It should not be confused with the Canadian consecutive bachelor's degree with honors, Latin baccalaureatus cum henor, ABBR. For example, BA on de jure without brackets and with a dot. It is a postgraduate degree which is considered to be the equivalent of corresponding more registered trademark TRAS degrees under the French-influenced system, for example in Qua copyright Bec. Going back in history, in Canada a 3-year baccalaureate degree was also called a pass degree or general degree. A student who first achieve a general bachelor's degree with a sufficiently high overall average may be admitted to a postgraduate baccalaureatus cum honorary degree in the same field. It requires a minimum of 1 year but may also take longer. It typically does not exceed 2 years. Students are required to undertake a long high-quality research empirical thesis combined with a selection of courses from the relevant field of studies. The consecutive degree is essential if students' ultimate goal is to study towards a 2 or 3 year very high-quality research master's degree qualification. A student holding a baccalaureatus cum honor degree also may choose to complete a Doctor of Philosophy program without the requirement to first complete a master's degree. Over the years, in some Canadian universities certain baccalaureatus cum honor programs have been changed to corresponding master's degrees. In 21 U.S. jurisdictions, religious institutions can be authorized to grant religious exempt degrees without accreditation or government oversight. Such degrees are used primarily to attain church-related employment. In Canada, professional degrees in medicine and law are considered to be undergraduate degrees, whereas MD, JD, or DO are first professional doctorates in the United States, whereas the PhD is the highest degree offered in the United States and is a fourth-cycle degree. Mexico, education in Mexico follows a 3-degree system similar to that of Canada and the U.S. After high school, students progress to university, where they study for a licenciatura, then a maestria, then a doctorado. The pre-university academic level is the baccalaureato, similar to high school. Students typically leave preparatoria at the age of 18 for university, at which point they choose to specialize in a specific academic area. Once in university, students begin the carrera, the study of a precise academic branch like economics, business administration, sciences, law, engineering, or medicine. Students will be in university for 8 to 10 semesters of full-time study, which typically takes 4 or 5 years. Upon graduation, students receive a licenciatura in their chosen subject area, which is equivalent to an American bachelor's degree. They can also get the degree of Ingeniería, or Medico that refers to an engineer or MD respectively. After receiving the licenciatura, students may take extra courses called diplomados. These courses last for a 12 months and are a means to further study without continuing to the next degree level. Most students stay at this level, but some choose to continue to the maestria, equivalent to the master's degree. Study at the maestria level takes 2 or 3 years and mandates completion of a thesis. Postgraduate students in Mexico typically enter a master's program after a few years in the workforce and often continue working while studying. Traditionally, students who have completed the maestria may continue on to the doctorado, or the doctorate. Doctoral study typically lasts 3 or 4 years. In last years this scheme has become flexible such that in some PhD programs, students are accepted before, or not completing at all a master course. Oceania, Australia and New Zealand. The Australian and New Zealand academic degrees are diplomas, advanced diplomas, bachelor's degrees with honours, master's degrees, postgraduate diplomas, graduate diplomas and doctorates. In Australia, most degrees are issued ungraded, with bachelor's degrees with honours being the exception. In New Zealand, both master's and bachelor's with honours are awarded graded. The bachelor's degree is the standard university qualification. In both Australia and New Zealand, unlike some other countries, honours degrees require an additional year of research and study on top of a bachelor's degree, and are undertaken by invitation only. Master's degrees may be by coursework or research. Doctorates are by research only or by some combination of coursework and research. Some extended master's degrees in medicine, veterinary science, and law may carry a doctor of title in alignment with American usage, but are not doctorates. Nevertheless, professionals in some of these fields use the title doctor in spite of possessing only bachelor's or master's degrees. Some bachelor's degrees may take longer than 3 years to complete, and double bachelor's degrees are common. South America, Argentina. Brazil, undergraduate students in Brazilian universities normally graduate either with a baccalaureate degree, a licentiate degree or with a professional degree. Baccalaureate degrees are awarded in most fields of study in the arts, humanities, social sciences, mathematics, or natural sciences and normally take 4 years to complete. Professional degrees are awarded in state-regulated professions such as architecture, engineering, psychology, pharmacy, dentistry, veterinary medicine, or human medicine and are named after the profession itself, that is one graduates with a degree of engenheiro, arquiteto, or mar copyright for example. A typical course of study leading to a first professional degree in Brazil normally takes 5 years of full-time study to complete, with the exception of the human medicine course which requires 6 years. In addition to the standard baccalaureate and professional degrees, Brazilian universities also offer the licenciatura degree, generally 4 years length degrees, available for students who want to qualify as school teachers. Licenciatura courses exist mostly in mathematics, humanities, and natural sciences. Technicube logo is also available in technology-related fields and can be normally obtained in 3 years only. Admission as an undergraduate student in most top public or private universities in Brazil requires that the applicant pass a competitive entrance examination known as vestibular. Contrary to what happens in the United States, candidates must declare their intended university major when they register for the vestibular. Although it is theoretically possible to switch majors afterwards, that is actually quite rare in Brazil. Undergraduate curricula tend to be more rigid than in the United States and there is little room to take classes outside one's major. Individuals who hold either a baccalaureate degree, a professional diploma, Technicube logo or licenciatura are eligible for admission into graduate courses leading to advanced master's or doctor's degrees. Criteria for admission into master's and doctor's programs vary in Brazil. Some universities require that candidates take entrance exams. Others make admission decisions based solely on undergraduate transcripts, letters of recommendation, and possibly oral interviews. In most cases, however, especially for the doctorate, the candidate is required to submit a research plan and one faculty member must agree to serve as his/her supervisor before the candidate can be admitted into the program. The exception are the natural sciences postgraduate programs, that accept students with very broad and/or vague research prospects with sometimes the prospect is given impromptu during the interview, preferring to let the students define their study program and advisor in the course of the first year of studies. There are 2 types of postgraduate programs, lato sensu and stricto sensu. Specializations, professional masters or MBAs are courses that include taking a minimum number of graduate classes but with no need to do research nor defend a thesis, only present a final work showing the knowledge. It's a professional level where theory and practice are focused in a broad sense. Master's degrees usually takes 1 to 2 years of full-time study. Requirements for an academic master's degree include taking a minimum number of advanced graduate classes and submitting a research thesis which is examined orally by a panel of at least 2 examiners, sometimes including one external member who must be from another university or research institute. The emphasis of the thesis must be in adding some value to the academic knowledge, but not necessarily in being original. Doctor's degrees normally take 4 additional years of full-time study to complete. Requirements for obtaining a doctor's degree include taking additional advanced courses, passing an oral qualifying exam, and submitting a longer doctoral dissertation which must represent a significant original contribution to knowledge in the field to which the dissertation topic is related. That contrasts with master's thesis, which, in addition to being usually shorter than doctoral dissertations, are not required to include creation of new knowledge or revision reinterpretation of older views theories. The doctoral dissertation is examined in a final oral exam before a panel of at least 2 members, usually including 1 or 2 external examiners from another university or research institute. Finally, a small number of Brazilian universities, most notably the public universities in the state of São Paulo still award the title of livre docente, which is of higher standing than a doctorate and is obtained, similar to the German habilitation, by the submission of a second thesis and approval in a Leavre-Doka NCIA examination that includes giving a public lecture before a panel of full professors. See also Universities and Higher Education in Brazil, Colombia. In Colombia, the system of academic degrees is similar to the U.S. model. After completing their baccalaureate, students can take one of three options. The first one is called a professional, which is similar to a bachelor's degree requiring from 4 to 6 years of study according to the chosen program. The other option is called a tar copyright knico. This degree consists of only 2.5 years of study and prepares the student for technical or mechanical labors. Finally, the third option is called a technicu blogoa, and consists of 3 years of study. After this, students, now called professional, technicu blogos or tar copyright knicos, can opt for higher degrees. Formal education after the bachelor's degree is the master's degree with the title of maestro, and doctorate's degree known as doctorado. The master's degree normally consists of 2 years. Commonly, students prefer to take an specialization course, a specialization QDen, after their bachelor's degree rather than the more formal master and doctorate paths. This program is very popular in the country, because it requires only 1 year to complete and because the student only acquires the technical knowledge, without the bulk of the theoretical subjects. A similar situation in Colombia, when compared to the U.S. system, is that the students may not go directly to the doctorado without having the master degree first. Chile. In Chile, the system in a nutshell is as follows, quite similar to the case described for Colombia. Students may opt to be professionals, professionals, or tar copyright knicos, technicians. After completion of high school, students may follow professional or technical studies at universities or technical schools. Only universities and the academies of the armed forces can give academic degrees. In general, traditional professions require an academic degree, but there are many professions that not require the degree because they were conceived as strictly professional, not academic. The degrees are as follows: licenciado. It is similar to the bachelor, but to get it is necessary to complete at least 8 semesters of study on the subjects which are part of the MAre. This degree is enough to continue developing an academic career. However, to get a professional title which is not academic, but allows you to get a professional practice, you have to continue 1 or 2 additional years of study. Magister is the equivalent to the master degree in English-speaking countries. Doctorado is the equivalent to the doctorate or PhD. There is no separate classification for professional doctorates. In particular, the engineering profession may be complicated for the foreigner since there are 2 types of engineers, those who got an academic degree such as civil engineers or armed forced polytechnical engineers, and those who are ingenieros en educación QDen, which are considered terrain engineer more focused to apply the engineering in the field and completed only 4 years of study. They are not able, by law, to authorize plans or drawings like engineers with a degree or architects. Venezuela. Titles in Venezuela start with the Certificado de Educación QDen Básica, awarded upon completing 9th grade. The next title is earned upon completing 11th grade, and may be Bachelor en Sciences, Bachelor en Humanidades, or tar copyright knico en Sciences. The reason for this diversity is because some schools provide vocational education as part of their high school curriculum while elsewhere, the student is required to decide whether to study sciences or humanities for the last 2 years of secondary school. Titles at the higher education level usually depend on the institution handing them out. Technical schools award the student with the title of tar copyright knico superior universitario. Universities award the student with the title of ingeniero or with the title licenciado after completing a 5-year program. The engineer have more physics subjects than the licentiate, but both are 5-year careers. Some higher education institutions may award diplomados, but the time necessary to obtain one varies. Medical doctors are awarded the title Mar Copyright Dico Shorjano after completing a 6-year career. Postgraduate education follows conventions of the United States, pontifical universities, pontifical universities around the world such as the Catholic University of America, the Pontifical University of St. Thomas Aquinas, Angelicum in Rome, the Università Copyright Catholique de Leuven in Belgium, and the Pontifical Catholic University of Peru depend for their status as pontifical universities and for the nature of their academic degrees on the Pope through the Congregation for Catholic Education. The nature of academic degrees from ecclesiastical institutions of education is outlined in the Apostolic Constitution Sapientia Christiana Indiana distinction to secular or Catholic universities, which are academic institutions for the study and teaching of a broad range of disciplines. Ecclesiastical or pontifical universities are usually composed of three principal ecclesiastical faculties: theology, philosophy, and canon law, and at least one other faculty. A pontifical university specifically addresses Christian revelation and disciplines correlative to the evangelical mission of the Church as set out in the Apostolic Constitution Sapientia Christiana. There are three cycles of degrees that constitute the core of degrees granted by pontifical universities, the first cycle leading to the baccalaureate degree, the second cycle leading to the licentiate degree, the third cycle leading to the doctorate. From this core pontifical universities confer degrees including, theology, baccalaureate in sacred theology, sacred theology baccalaureatus, licentiate in sacred theology, sacred theology licentiatus, doctorate in sacred theology, sacred theology doctoratus, philosophy, baccalaureate in philosophy, philosophiae baccalaureatus, licentiate in philosophy, philosophiae licentiatus, doctorate in philosophy, philosophiae doctoratus, canon law, baccalaureate in canon law, juris canonici baccalaureatus, licentiate in canon law, iuris canonici licentiatus, doctorate in canon law, iuris canonici doctoratus. See also. References.